This may or may not sound awkward coming from me, but I can feel your energy. I feel how low you truly are right now. Whether it be work, school, people in your life, I can feel you having all that low energy. So allow me at least a few minutes of your time to just let you laugh and enjoy the consequences of what happens when you decide to try to sound like some individual trying to create a perspective with one side versus another side, but in reality, you just make a bunch of people mad because you don't know how to use proper words to describe whatever it is you're talking about. I'm certain you are all aware that recently there's been a bunch of tournaments going on for the NCAA, for the men's and for the women's related to basketball. And I'm certain you might have seen Iowa just beat the shit out of LSU and give me a significant amount of money because Leon is a gambling man. Well, before that, days before, an article came out talking about, I believe, LSU versus UCLA. And it was this typical type of article where you get a description of both teams and how they operate and what can they do to win, and yada, yada, yada. But nobody cared about that because of one tasty little nugget. This isn't just a basketball game. It's a reckoning. Picking sides goes well beyond school allegiance. Do you prefer America's sweethearts or its dirty debutantes, milk and cookies or Louisiana hot sauce? First of all, if you're going to have the comparison of somebody being milk and cookies as to Louisiana hot sauce, as somebody from New Orleans, I'm going with the hot sauce till I die. Milk and cookies can go fuck itself. But my overall question would be, what led you to think that you could draw that type of comparison and think nobody would see that and think, wow, what a piece of shit. What a ignorant little guy. And how could he be so ignorant to type something like that out? And surprise, surprise, a bunch of people, especially on the teams you were referencing, got very upset about that.
These young ladies, I saw an article. I didn't see it. Someone sent it to me. It was a commentary from the LA Times. I'm not sure if that young man is in here. You can criticize coaches all you want. That's our business. You can come at us and say you're the worst coach in America. I hate you. I hate everything about you. We expect that. It comes with the territory. But the one thing I'm not going to let you do, I'm not going to let you attack young people. And there were some things in this commentary, guys, that you should be offended by as women. It was so sexist, and they don't even know it. It was good versus evil in that game today. Evil called us dirty debutantes. Take your phone out right now and Google dirty debutantes and tell me what it says. Dirty debutantes? Are you kidding me? I'm not going to let you talk about 18 to 21-year-old kids in that tone. It was even sexist for this reporter to say UCLA was milk and cookies. Now, you women sit there and you keep your mouth shut if you want. I'm in the last third of my career, but I'm not going to let sexism continue. And if you don't think that's sexism, then you're in denial. How dare people attack kids like that? You don't have to like the way we play. You don't have to like the way we trash talk. You don't have to like any of that. We're good with that. But I can't sit up here as a mother and a grandmother and a leader of young people and allow somebody to say that.
I think there's a lot of situations that play into it. But I think, we do have a lot of black women on this team. We do have a lot of people that are from different areas. And unfortunately, that bias does exist still today. And a lot of the people that are making those comments are being racist towards my teammates. And, I'm in a unique situation where I see it with myself, I'll talk trash and I'll get a different reaction than if Angel talks trash. And so it's really up to me to, it's not up to me, but I have a duty to my teammates to have their back. And obviously, some of the words that were used in that article were very sad and upsetting. And, I actually didn't want us to read that article before the game because hearing stuff like that, it's not right, and it's not that type of description of us isn't always motivating. I think, calling us basically the dirty debutantes, like that has nothing to do with sports, and that's not motivating. And so I think I wish we hadn't have read that, because I think that can crush your soul a little bit, that someone would ever say that about us that doesn't know us. But again, obviously, in my opinion, I know for a fact that people see us differently, because we do have a lot of black women on our team who have an attitude and like to talk trash, and people feel a way about it. But at the end of the day, I'm rocking with them because they don't let that change who they are, and they stay true to themselves, and so I'll have their back.
And of course, knowing that he is a eloquent white savior, he had to apologize, because it's important to know that when you fuck up that bad, you should be able to just get back on it and say, my bad, I'm sorry. It has taken me 2 days to write this apology, because I wanted to be as thoughtful as possible in my response to the situation I have created. These are words I have not been asked to write by anyone at my paper, but they need to be expressed so that I can own up to my mistake. Words matter. As a journalist, no one should know this more than me. Yet, I have failed miserably in my choice of words, obviously. In my column previewing LSU versus UCLA women's basketball game, I tried to be clever in my phrasing about one team's attitude, using alliteration while not understanding the deeply offensive connotation or associations. I also used metaphors that were not appropriate. Our society has had to deal with so many layers of misogyny, racism, and negativity that I can now see why the words I used were wrong. Yes, comparing a group of motherfuckers to milk and cookie and hot sauce, and you not having the foresight to think, maybe if I upload this, people are going to have a negative reaction. People are going to think very bad things about me and what it was I was trying to do. I was just trying to explain the differences, the attitudes, the circumstances of the teams, but I really wasn't noticing the key points that would have made a bunch of people pissed off. It was not my intent to be hurtful, but I now understand that I terribly missed the mark. This is a grown adult, by the way. I think we could let it slide a little bit if it was a teenager getting the opportunity to write for the LA Times, but this is a grown adult who apparently just now figured out words hurt a bunch of people, and they will be very upset if you tried to characterize them as milk and cookies and fucking hot sauce. I sincerely apologize to the LSU and UCLA basketball teams and to our readers. UCLA, a school I have covered for nearly a decade, champions diversity and is known as a leader in inclusivity. However, I have not upheld that standard in what I wrote, and I will do much better. I am deeply sorry. I find it a little bit hilarious that of all the schools, you specifically, after apologizing to both of them, highlight UCLA as the place of inclusiveness and diversity. You really didn't hammer home how you compared a bunch of motherfuckers to hot sauce, which arguably would be more offensive than comparing somebody to milk and cookies. But us, just remember, in a world where people are sensitive, words hurt, and understanding is key, don't be going around trying to compare motherfuckers to food or condiments, because in this day and age, a lot of motherfuckers are not going to think, oh, what an introspective piece about basketball culture on this one team and this other team. They're going to think, wow, what a fucking piece of shit. And that is the lesson for the day, class. I hope I was able to make you smile just a little bit while you saunter on back into that hole of low energy and maybe a little low self-esteem. And I hope you get a little bit better as the days and the weeks and the months and the years go by. Subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.